Hello, 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 everybody. Every week, I plan to come on and have my music on. And every week, I come on and I forget to put my music on. It's crazy. But hi, my name is Linda Murray Bullitt. They call me the business plug. And so today, as the ticker is telling you, we're going to talk about customer retention. Like this entire month, I've dedicated to customer retention. And so that's what we're going to be about. I have a whole presentation for you that is going to explain about customer retention. And the whole goal is to help you to learn ways that you can retain your customers. So here it is. So I am coming from the LSMB Training Academy, the Business Training Academy, where we help people who have a mindset of starting businesses. We have a 10-week course that is sponsored, that is actually underwritten by the Kauffman Foundation. It's called Fast Track. And it's called Fast Track because for 10 weeks, 1 day a week, 3 hours a day, we do deep dives into entrepreneurship and helping you to learn the business side of your business, right? Because every business owner I've ever found loves what they do. Like they love the product, the service they're providing. They may even have some technical aspects that they are familiar with. Where they are struggling, and the part that I come in is on providing the business acumen because it's think of it as a stool. So on top of the stool, the seat part is your business. Under your stool, under the seat part, there are three prongs. There is product knowledge, which all of you have. I don't care what you're selling, what widget you're making, you know exactly how to do the product part. The other part is the technical part. Now, how do you get it made, or how do you get it to market, or how do you use systems, or how do you create this thing? Some of you may have a third party doing the technical part for you, or some of you may even have technical knowledge and can do it yourself. The third part is the business acumen. The business acumen is navigating, is understanding that your business structure is correct, understanding that your business systems are in place. So you're working smart and not hard, right? Because with automation and technology, there's some things that can be done for us seamlessly that we never have to touch manually. So understanding what that is, understanding business systems. Also, what I find is people struggle with marketing and sales. Like marketing gets you known, sales gets you paid. And so sometimes people think those are the same thing. You may have 5,000 followers, but not nearly $100 in the bank, right? And because of that, that means your marketing is out there. People want to follow you. You're saying something that draws attention, but your sales aspect of that, the sales strategy is not there. So helping you to understand marketing and helping you to understand sales and how the two complement each other. The other is fulfillment and distribution. Like when you think about how can I get my item, my service to my customers, that's a whole nother thing. So understanding how to do that and how to do that well, depending on what you're offering is. Like if you're offering a digital product or a physical product. So there's two different ways of that has to happen. So we help you to understand the best way based on what you're offering, how to get that to your customer as quickly and as accurately as possible. And then the final thing, the number six thing, is we teach you customer service because the most business owners go in business and they want to just sell one. If I can get these people to buy one, if I can get these people to buy one, and they are constantly trying to find customers. And so, because it's easy to get the one, because you're awesome, okay? You're the bum, and we know that. But the thing about that is this: if you want to be a smart business owner, if you want to scale your business, you're going to have to think about a customer lifetime cycle. And this past week, like on Thursday, we had Joey Coleman to come in the group and add to my group on Facebook, and he did a 45-minute session about customer retention. He has an 8 phase program that he's been taught and is spreading across the world since 2018. And he came and he talked inside the group and he gave strategies and things that people need because customer service, like even after the sale, in order to get the next sale, it is easier. Statistics prove us out. You know, the numbers don't lie. Statistics proves us out that it's easier to get to sell resell to a warm audience than it is to resell to a cold audience, right? People who don't know, people you don't know, people don't know you, you don't know them. It's all about know, like, and trust. Know, like, and trust, right? Know your business. Know you're going to give them what you say you are. Know who you are. Knowing that your core values match up, knowing that you can talk about other things as you get to know your customer. You can talk about other things besides business, but because you have that core value exchange and you have different dialogues that you can have, it's a relationship, right? And then understanding what that is. And so the like part is okay, you're pretty cool. I like to hang out with you. I like to buy your products because after they do that first when they test who you are, when they come back, they're not just buying the product, they're buying you. They enjoy being in business with you. And so thinking about that, and to coin what Joy was talking about, Joy said that we're human to human. So we're not business to business, we're not business to consumers. We're human to human. We're one big human creating something for another human. And being in business is all about a service. It is not about just selling something you're one and done. And so teaching customers, teaching my business owners how to embrace their customers and how to build relationships. And that's where tonight comes in. Tonight, we're talking about customer retention. We're talking about once they have waved their hand, as Joy says, waved their hand and said yes, then how do you keep them coming back and how do you help them to enjoy a customer life cycle? The customer life cycle. And he talks about that, and he talks about the 8 phases of that, where not only do they become your loyal customers, they also become your biggest advocates because they enjoy what you're doing and they are just overjoyed to tell other people about you because the experience that you're giving them is the experience they want their friends and family to have. Like, think about it. When you have had a great experience, when you have seen something that just rocks your world, that just makes you like, oh, this is magnificent. Don't you want to tell other people and want them to experience it too? And so that's what he's talking about. That's what the whole customer retention cycle is about. That's what this is tonight's session is about. It's about customer retention. How can we keep these customers who have already said yes to us, who already know, like, and trust us, and who are willing to buy the products and services that we're providing? That's what we're talking about tonight. So I have a whole presentation for you. So get you something to drink and come on in. And if you have comments and questions, go ahead and tell StreamYard it's okay to show your name, and they'll put your name, and that way I can see your comments too. Okay. So I'm going through the presentation now, and I'll answer all your questions as soon as I finish the presentation. So go ahead and put your questions in the comment section. If you're watching this on the replay, go ahead and put hashtag replay so I know that you saw it. But I am coming to help you if you are a small business owner. I'm going to help you retain your customers. That's what this is about. That's what this whole month has been dedicated to customer retention because I want you to work smart in your business and not hard in your business. And the people who already said yes, they like you, they've already bought from you. Like Joy asked the question, he asked the question, how big would your business be today if everyone who ever did business with you previously was still buying from you? I mean, can you imagine? Especially if you've been in business for some length of time, how much that would mean to you if those people would come back and continue buying, and not only continue buying, but also tell their family and friends about you. Your marketing dollars, like he talked about this company where their marketing dollars went to like 10%, which is really small for the size of the company they had. But it was because other people were telling them about the business, the experiences. So this is about giving your customer an experience. So let's get started. So again, this is about customer retention, and me and this thing is going too fast. I have heavy hands, and so now let's start slowly. So this is about hanging on to your existing customers, and I'm waiting for it to catch up with me. I'm kind of hesitant because I got heavy hands. Okay, so let's talk about what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about who is your customer. We're going to talk about what's your story, the facts and figures. We're going to talk about major goals for 2020 because 2020 is not over yet, and there's still some time to do some recovering in 2020. So don't give up on 2020 yet. Yes, it has been bumpy, and yes, we have. I feel like sometimes we're having the plagues come, right? I saw a video with some birds down in Texas, and I'm like, oh wow. So yeah, but sometimes it feels like we're going through the plague, but it's not over yet. We still have until December. We still have 6 months, right? So a little bit over 6 months. What that looks like, then I'm gonna summarize and I'm gonna tell you a little bit about me. So, customer retention. When we looked it up, this is the definition we received. It's the activities and the actions companies and organizations take to reduce the number of customer defections. That means customers leaving you, right? Think Apple. Think how when you got your Apple phone, right? When you got these new Apple phone, I think it's around Apple 6. I think it was around iPhone 6 that they scrapped everything and now you have to get all your parts and things from Apple. So yeah, so think about that. Think about Apple and to keep people from defecting, they increased the switch costs, right? The customer switching costs. Because what they did is you had to buy a new headset, you had to buy, the new earplugs, you had to buy a new phone, everything came new. So it only works now with Apple, with the iPhone. So think about how they up their customer defections. They lowered the chance of customers defecting by making customers buy all of their products. So if you lose them, then now you have to buy a new headset, you have to buy new, earplugs, you have to buy everything new. And so that's a way of decreasing customer defections. And also, it's the goal of customer retention programs is to help customers retain as many customers as possible, often through their customer loyalty and brand loyalty initiatives. And when you think about that, that was what Joy was talking about, the 8 phases about what does that look like when you talk about customer loyalty. When you're talking about increasing customer loyalty, what is the onus on companies to do in order to produce that, to help customers, to make it easy for customers to be loyal to you because you're easy to do business with. And so that's what he was talking about in his book, Never Lose a Customer Again by Joey Coleman. That's the book that we just read in my group. And then he came on and did a live for us. So the inspiring words, in the words of Leonardo da Vinci, learning is the only thing the mind never exhausts, never fears, and never regret. Learning, right? Learning new things, learning new ways of doing things. So yeah, but that's what that's about. It's learning a different way to think about customers' sales instead of the one and one. You're thinking about, okay, what can I do to increase the likelihood that this customer is going to come back to me? And so that's what this is about. What's your story? So think about your story. I want you to go back. I want you to think about if you're in business, what was the first time you made a sale? Who was that person that you made a sale to? And what did you do to get it? Like what magic did you perform to make this person want to do business with you? That first customer. A lot of people keep that first dollar that they made in their businesses and they hang it up somewhere in their business. But what was the first thing that you did in order to get that first sale? Like, do you remember making that first sale? Because after you make that first sale, like when you make the first sale, you think, this is possible. Like I can do it. Even if you have been in business for a long time, if you raise your prices, because what I find is most business owners come in business with lower prices than they need to. And so once they learn how to adequately raise their prices and they make that first sale all over again, somebody buys it at that higher level. Like, what does that feel like? Like, how good was that? And what did you do? And what was it that you sold? Think about those things. Think about what worked, because that worked. If you made that first sale, that worked. And so think about that. So think about your work philosophy. If you have a business that you are trying to operate, your number one thing you should be focusing on is the relationship. Being a relationship based business, like being in a relationship with that first sale, are you still connected to them? Do you still are they still buying from you? Or was it a one and done? They bought what they bought and they're going with their lives. But wouldn't it be great if you reversed that and went back and connected with that first sale? Because that was the first person that waved their hand to say yes to you and your product and service. Like, how awesome did you feel about that? And did you celebrate it with your customer? Like, did you celebrate that? Hey, you're my first sale, so I need to do something special for you because you only get that one first sale, right? So making them feel special and then you making yourself, I mean, it feels good enough for us as business owners, but how can you make that person feel special? And are they still with you? Like if you've been in business for a while, is that customer still with you? Like your work philosophy should be centered, be customer centered. should be relationship based and customer centered. How can you get your customers to keep coming back and keep coming back and keep coming back? That's where the great spot is when people come back and they keep coming back to you because it's a privilege to have customers. We know that. So let's talk about our core mission. Our core mission should be to connect and to support our customers. Like after buying your goods and services, do you continue to build the relationship or you say, okay, you bought on to the next one and spend all your assets, all your resources trying to get more customers and more customers and more customers. And then meanwhile, those who have signed on and believe in you, you kind of push them aside unless you have like an annual renewal process and then you pull back into them when it's time to renew. Like, how can you nurture and build relationships, to build a community, to build a network, to build a support system for our customers? Because if we're in business, it's a service. That's what we're about. We're about serving our customers. It's a service. They have a pain point where they're looking for help. And we have said that we have exactly what they need. We have the solutions. And so, how can we build relationships that make that long lasting, not just for one and done, but how can we create other products and services to help them? And I'll talk about that again later. So the achievements, celebrating their milestones. So if you have customers, do you know when they hit their milestones, like if they got a promotion or their kid went to college or their kid graduated high school or graduated the next grade? What do you know about your customers? Like the psychographics, what they're doing when they're not at work or when they're not busy doing something. What do they do in their lives when they're in their downtime and when they're doing their things that they love to do? Do you know what your customer's favorite thing to do is? Like, do you know? Do you follow them enough or close enough to them to say, "Oh, I remember he loves green. Oh, I remember she loves red. Oh yeah, I remember that person loves purple." Like, do you know that about your customers? And so it's talking about building relationships so that people come feel good about coming back and do business with you. So it's not about one and done. First of all, it's not about that. It's about you celebrating your customers because they're more than just a sale. They're humans. We're human to human. That's what Joey told us in the first chapter of his book. We're humans to humans. And so we need to reach each other on a human level, like understanding and celebrating when our customers are making milestones in their own life. How great is it that we get to be a part of their lives and we get to help them to realize their dream? Like in my business, and I'm going to use my business for the rest of this presentation as an example, but in my business, I get to see people go from being unsure and not knowing what to do next. I get the glorious part to go see them fly. Like I get to see them ascend, and to be a part of that is just hard. Oh, I love it. I love it. That's why this. If you look at my logo, I have that light bulb there. That's the thing I love. I love the light bulb. I love when people say, "Ah, I get it. I have potential. I have worth. I have value." So that's the part of my business that they think is for them. Because especially this week, I've had like three people reach back and say, "Oh, you showed me myself. Oh, you allowed me to be who I am." Those things, but they think it's for them. It's not for them. It's my addiction to the bug, my addiction to watching people move to their next level. And you do that, and I celebrate with them. I on my if you follow me on Facebook, I do this. My customers be like, my students be like, and I'll show you their successes when they're in getting national attention or when they've been awarded something or when they've excelled in a certain or they're introducing a new product or like anything they're doing. Then when they do business with me, I celebrate with them because their success is my success. And so I love it. I love it. I love it. So that's where the bub comes from in my logo. And I didn't even have to tell her to put it there. My graphic artist, I told her what I wanted and she listened and she put the light bulb there. And I am addicted to the light bulb. So look at your customers achieving what their achievements and help them celebrate. Celebrate with them. Celebrate for them. Because sometimes I have customers where they'll say, "Oh yeah, I got the certificate at work," and I'm like, "Got that certificate at work? What? That is great!" Because sometimes people we don't take enough time to pause and celebrate. I was watching Last Dance a little earlier, and after they had won their sixth championship, people were asking them, in the interviews, the Chicago Bulls, people were asking them, "What are you doing next? Or what does tomorrow look like?" And they were like, "Oh no, we're taking 2 days, and we're just gonna enjoy this." Like, take time to enjoy your achievements. Take time to enjoy your successes. Take time to enjoy your customer successes if you're a business owner. And so, products and services. So, how can we create things that, as a business, that our customers can have? Like, do we have online courses? Can we do product reviews for them? Can we do some creative coaching to help them along their way? Or can we test some of their products, their new products, be a part of their test groups, their focus groups? And then how can we help them with professional development? Like, what skill sets do they need to know going forward? Because that as you go higher, there's a different skill set from when you first began. So understanding what that is and helping your customers, especially your new, if in my case, I have new business owners who are going into spaces they've never been before. And so helping to guide them through that, I love that. I love that they reach back and say, "Hey, this is what's happening to me. And I just need somebody to bounce it off of. I need somebody to understand what it feels like. So what should I do? Or is this normal that I feel jittery?" Right? So just understanding their journey and then helping them along the way. As a business strategist, I am always available to them to help them to think strategically about where they're going so that they're mapping out a plan and not just all over the place like I was. So yeah, so I learned from my experience and I try to help them to share with theirs. And so think about highlights. Like, um, the thing is, increasing your customers base by showing them how to do well in their businesses helped me to do mine well. Like when I am helping them to get navigate, I'm also learning with them because a lot of them are going in spaces I haven't been. And so while I haven't been in some of those spaces, I get to ride along and get the experience and be the cheerleader on the side. Always the cheerleader. Always the cheerleader. Always telling my business owners, go for it, do it, you can do it. My professional people, the people who are trying to make career advances and come to me for coaching or come to me for mock interviews or ask me questions about the industry they're getting ready to jump off in, or all of that. Like all of that, by helping them, I ain't helped me, right? And they refer people back to me, and then building their brand. So understanding that even in COVID, business owners need to know that there are alternatives available for them. Like you hear every day, almost every day, that businesses are closing, businesses are closing, businesses are closing. But if you can think about these small businesses, like there's an online platform for just about every business that you have. Like you have to think mail order, right? You have to think how you can do mail order, but or how drive-bys still work. But just thinking about different alternatives because they may be sitting there about to give up. I have a business owner now that's going through a struggle, and then we're looking at grants and we're looking at other things, other alternatives that they can look at as far as getting in revenue. You have to think outside of the box, and that's what I love about COVID is it's forcing us to think outside of the ordinary. And so we're coming up with these extraordinary plans, and we're still able to do it. We're still able to jump back in to stay able. Yes, think Starbucks. Think Starbucks coffee bean shop, right? Think Starbucks coffee bean shop, and then today they're a coffee house everywhere. But they started out just selling coffee beans, but they made the pivot. You have to be able to make the pivot in businesses, regardless of what you are. I looked at the CBL of the malls, right? And they talk about how many vacant properties they have now. Like 2 months really was hard, has been hard on them. And so how can they repurpose those malls and start thinking differently to do something very different so they're not closing? They're like, we don't even know if we're going to last through this because we don't even know if we're going to see the other side of May. This was like in the mid-May when they made that announcement. And I thought about somebody's not being innovative. Somebody's not thinking outside of the box. What can you do outside of the box? Like, what can you do? And so it forces you to think about things you've never thought of. It forces you to think about finding resources that you didn't know you had or using resources that you've never used. It forces you. So think about letting your highlights be how you support your customers. How can you help them get through this? Because like Joy was saying in the interview, they will remember this. Everybody, we can all remember, oh, in 2020, it was like this. But what they're going to remember mostly about you and your company is that how you came up with solutions to help them get through it. And so if you're in business and your business is supporting other people, then think about that. Think about how you are in business and can support other people and help them to survive on the other side because we're divided but together, right? So on the end. So think about that. And if you're writing questions, I do see you. I will get back to you once I get through this. I'll come back and I'll go through all my comments. So yeah. So look, start tracking your overall performance. Like, what did you look like in March? And then look at where you are today. Because believe it or not, there are some businesses that are growing. Like they have made the pivot and now they're realizing that they're making more now than they've made the entire 2019 because they understood the pivot and they were willing and not stuck on their idea, but willing to do it in a different way or do a blend of things now that we're semi reopening. But how can you do a blend of things? Don't lose your online presence that you've created. Think about if you're doing a blended situation, how you can do some things online. And if you have a physical shop now, how you can do some things physically in your shop as well. But the two now that you have an online presence and a physical presence, how can you do well to both? Because that explains your audience automatically anyway, the online presence. So then think about those things and start building case studies of things that have been successful, customers that have been successful. That's why it is important for you to reach back and make sure that you're connected with the people who you've already served. Like, do they need anything else? I love in the book when Joy was talking about the dentist, and he said after he had had a crown put on, that later that night, later that evening, one of her staff members called and said, right about now, you should be experiencing the numbness wearing off. So, did you go by and get your prescription? And have you taken one? Because we don't want you to have a bad night. And so, they were being proactive in helping him and supporting him in what he was doing. How can we do that kind of thing? Because that she had put automation and technology in the special places where it was noticeable to her clients and customers. How can we do that? How can we get in the spaces and reduce the customer barriers to the success of our products and services? How can they do that? So keep track of that. Make that one of your KPIs, one of your key performance indicators. And then looking at what has been a favorite product of yours. What was a favorite product back then in March? What's the favorite product that you're selling now? Like, is there a difference? And then are you even aware that you have favorite products that people are buying over and over and over again? And then how they're using it. So think about the reasons of using it. We have so much customer data when you're a business owner that we don't even track it all. Like we don't even know we have it. We don't understand that customer data is a gold mine and how you can use that customer data to tell you different things about your customers, tell you where they are, what they like, and why they're using it. Like understanding that this is how we're going to grow is having deeper relationships and keeping track of historical data so that we'll know how our customers are doing and what they're doing and then we forge these relationships so then okay so in March my favorite product was outdoor items but then with the beginning of March now everybody's into candles everybody's into eating in more groceries so they need recipes or everybody's into doing crafts because now their kids are at home. Like paying attention to what your customers are doing so that you don't miss something that's very important that could help you learn to serve them well. Just paying attention to historical data. And then the goal, you will not be able to please 100% of everybody. And so just get to know that. But if you can get 97% of your users satisfied, you'll be fine. If you can get 97%, that allows you to have a 3% error rate because you're not going to be perfect. I mean, if you are, I had just today, I had a young lady to post this long post on my business. She said she didn't recommend the business, and then she posted this long post about going to a dog park. Had nothing to do with me. Had nothing to do with me. But she posted that on my business page. I don't know why. I've never done business with her. I don't know. But that score that she did will affect me because up until that point, I had a 5.0. People do what they do, right? But I have never done business with that young lady. And I have no idea why she's telling me about a dog park. I don't own a dog, but people do what they do. So 97% is the goal. None of us are perfect. And so understanding, be okay with being imperfectly perfect. Perfect for what you're doing. Okay. So the goal, 97% of your customers happy. Yes, 100% would be perfect, but you can't sustain that for long term. It would be unrealistic. So every now and then you're going to foul up. And when you do, just make sure that when you foul up that you resolve it as quickly as possible. And then think about your customer process. I want you to think about gathering information, the data, and then knowing how to use it later. So storing the data, the information that your customers are telling you, like when you do surveys or focus groups or ask questions or take polls, that information, and then experimenting with new products because if you followed them, like I said, there was a switch, right? Maybe people were doing outdoor sales, things that you can do outside, and now they're doing things you can do inside. To understanding that, and then experimenting with new products and services because after a while you get tired of doing the same thing. Yes, we're creatures of habit, but we also get tired. We get burned out on things quickly. So understanding what products, what services you can put out there to keep it energized, to keep help think of things that they may not have thought of because you see the bigger picture. So think about what experiment you can do and get your focus group to sample it on first before you put it out to your whole audience. And then committing to helping them to get through this together. Like committing to being with your customers. We're going to get through this together. We're divided now as far as separated because of COVID, but we're still together and we're going to get through this COVID thing together. And so understanding about customer reviews, and I didn't ask my customers for their pictures. So these are not their pictures. Let's say that they may look at this and say, oh, that's not me. But these are not their pictures because I didn't ask their permission before I did this. But understanding that these are real people, the names are real people, and what they do, their comments are real. Understanding how we can get our customers to be our biggest marketing piece by because when you treat them well, they're going to want to tell somebody, just like you do. Just like when you have a good experience, you want to tell someone. So how can we collect those reviews, right? In video, in emails, in somebody putting reviews on Google or on Facebook or on wherever, right? Or on Yelp or any of those things. So the popular areas where people can help with their customer retention is technology. How can you move forward faster and easier, adding technology to what you do? How can you go and attain those skill sets that you see that you need? Like while we are in, everybody's in the house and very few of us can come out to work. How can you take some of that downtime and break the monotony of working and helping the kids to also help yourself to learn a new skill set, taking an online class or attending something online. And then business and marketing, what classes do you need to understand business growth? Because now would be a great time to start at least planning a 6 month plan of what happens here. We have the rest of this year. So how can you plan that? And then using science, like um, understanding the algorithms of these social media platforms because they seem like they change every other week. But then understanding how you can best navigate through all these algorithm changes and all these ups and upgrades and all these things these people are doing and understanding the science of it so that you can maximize the use of your advertising budget. You don't want to be just spending money to spend money. You want to spend money purposely so that you can grow your business. And so, looking forward, what is the next step for you? Like, think about what happens next. Or have you even thought about what happens next? And that's where the 6 month planning comes into play. When I'm doing planning with my clients and my students, what I tell them is always begin with the end in mind. So whatever they're going to do in 30 in 6 months from now, like whatever they want December to look like, then back that up to what they want November looks like so that it supports December. October supports November, September supports October, August supports September, and July supports August. So backing it all up so that each month, previous month, will support the one ahead of it, right? So just looking at and take many steps, and then for July, breaking that down to week to week to week. until you're right here in June. What can you do next week that's going to help you look good in December? Just thinking ahead. So just think about what your next steps are and what things you can do in order to retain your customers, in order to build relationships with those customers who've already bought your product and services. How can you reward them for saying yes? How can you make them feel valuable? How can you help them to be better customers for long term? Like how can you increase their chances of having a customer life cycle with you and your business? That's what it's all about. How can we do that? Because we're serving them and we want to be able to provide services to them. So yeah, and so major goal. So think about what offerings you're having, and do they need an overhaul? Are you still stuck on the pre-COVID season, and you wonder, okay, I've spent out. What do I do next? Do you have an online presence? So how can you increase your online presence? Are you just marketing to the people on your timeline, like the people who have said they're your friends? Are you just marketing to them, or are you marketing to the entire United States? Will your product travel across borders to market to as many people as you can? Because sometimes it's how our mindset is to market to people we know, like our friends and family. Russell Brunson calls it the NFL, the No Friends Left Club. Marketing to the same people in our circle all the time gives us the NFL club. It'll put us. They'll stop. They'll see us and start running, or stop opening our emails, or start deleting when we send those inbox messages telling them about product only and haven't built a relationship with them. But think of how widely the online presence can be. Like right now, online presence means you can get the entire United States, unless there are legal ramifications that say you can't. But for the most of us, we can market to the entire United States. How good is that? That is good. So we've just increased our customer options of the places we can get leads. And then think about what companies that you can do collaborations with, right? The more companies, the better, because your product or service complements somebody doing something. Like if you are selling makeup, then I'm sure there's a hairstylist somewhere, or even a jeweler that can help you have somebody do a makeover or something. How can we help people to enjoy where they are? How can we use video and online presence and everything that's available to us now to start thinking of some major things we can change in our business and our services so that we can become more adaptable to this online presence that we all have to have right now? And so look at where your current sales are today. What does it look like? And then how close are you to your target where you want to be? This is one thing that Joy said again, and I will reiterate. How big would your business be if everyone who ever bought from you was still buying from you today? Like, how can we make that happen? How can we make that happen? And so now, what's the plan? So the plan is step one, think about your customers' value cycle, right? Think about their value cycle. When they come, where do they hear about you? That's step one. How they hear you? Are you marketing where they can reach you? Are you finding out where they get their information and make sure that you have a presence there? And then step two, after they purchase from you, because once you hook them with your advertising and marketing, then once they purchase the product, what does that look like? Like, how do you have the onboarding? Is it nice? Are they enjoying it? Are you celebrating with them that they decided to do business with you? Like, what are you doing once they say yes, I'm going to purchase? How are you making it great? Like in Joy's book, he talks about the affirm stage, where, especially if you're a big ticket offer, how people, regardless of what we buy, if we spend a lot of money for it, like the next day we are like, okay, did I do the right thing? It's called buyer's remorse, and we all experience it. And he talked about in his book about how you can help your customer to get over that. Like he has specific things you can do. So again, get that book, Never Lose a Customer Again by Joy Coleman. And then in step three, while they're using the product, do we help them? Like, do we have a step by step how to get the most out of the product or service? So he talked about that too, about how we can hold their hand in some cases. Because we expect everybody to have our level of knowledge, and sometimes our customers don't. So just like the doctor that called him that evening to ask him about his pills, how can we help our customers say, hey, I saw you, Bob, so this is what to expect, and help walk them through the journey? They'll appreciate that because they won't get lost. And that's going to help you in customer service because if you can get ahead of any customer issues they have up front, then that's the less customer service issues you're going to have in the end, right? So walking them through and then gathering their insight of their experience. How can you make it better? What was good? What did they like and what did they dislike? And what would they change? Like asking those things. And then step five, nurturing the relationship, like build a relationship and get to know them as people. As Joy said, human to human as opposed to business and business to consumer. So yeah, so that's the plan. So in a nutshell, if you will be chasing customers, using up your resources, becoming frustrated until kingdom come if you don't recognize and reward the customers you have already had. Like that's the whole bottom line of it, right? That's everything. So if you are chasing customers, then retaining the ones you've already had is going to help you. And my name is Linda Murray Bullock. They call me the business plug. And so today on the Business Plug Mixer, I am plugging you into customer retention because I want to teach you that you don't have to chase customers. That's not even, you don't need that. What you need is to understand how to keep the customers that you have coming back. And so you can reach out to me. There is my website, there's my email address. And if you want to schedule a call, there's how you can schedule a call too. You can go to, and that's not right though. I will put the correct email address to schedule the call on this video when I finish because that is not right. So, yeah, so we talked about customer retention. And that is all, people. That is all I had. So I hope if you are a new business owner, I have one more slide for you. If you are a new business owner, go get this free resource. Go to mustplug.in.com and download the free checklist. That free checklist is going to help you if you're just starting your business, knowing what to do for the foundational steps of your business. I have provided it for you. All you have to do is download it and start checking it off as you get the things done. But I want you to start your business right. And so I made that free resource for you. Again, my name is Linda Murray Bullock. They call me the business plug. And that's the end of my presentation. So now let me look and see what kind of comments I have. Hey, Sheena. Hey, Sheena. Hey, Joy. Yes, I'm looking now to see if there are any comments or questions. I cannot see my LinkedIn people. I can't see you, but I'm told that I have some comments over there. Yeah, there's Sheena. Hey, Sheena. I'm glad you joined different ways. Right. And so what Sheena said is she said she's learning different ways. You're amazing too, Da. I appreciate you as well. Absolutely, because we want these people to keep coming back to us. And so we have to nurture those relationships. We sure do. Thank you. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, but if you have any questions, again, you can get to me at getthebusiness.org is my website. And it actually has a place to schedule a call there, or you can send me an email there, either way. But yeah, but that's what this is about. This is about customer retention. This is about how to keep your customers, how to have your customers come back to you so that you stop spending resources and stop spending your energy trying to take new customers all the time. So that's all I had. And if you all don't have any questions, I'm looking to see if there are any questions or comments. If you don't have any questions or comments, and I will come back later and check to make certain that you haven't put some, I'll be watching this post to make sure if you put something later, then I'll come back and handle it. But yeah, but I hope you have a good Sunday and happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. You guys, you deserve a whole day. You deserve a whole week because you are the backbone for all of us as far as this work thing and as far as our tenacity. My dad was a big inspiration for me being who I am today. And so to every dad out there, happy Father's Day to you from LS&B Business Solutions and me, Linda Murray Bullock. Happy Father's Day. Hope you're having a great day. So we'll see you next Sunday at 7 o'clock on the Business Plus Mixer. And I hope this has been valuable to you. Have a great one. Bye.